She needs to cut that shit out.
Welcome back to the Radial podcast. My name's Austin. I'm joined by Devin.
Hello.
And Jeff.
Yo.
What do you do, pimp?
Sitting in this chair with my sweatpants.
You look like trash in the sweatpants, I gotta say.
You look like fucking trash with that mustache.
I have a very good mustache now.
It's
Facial hair
fall
update.
weather now, and I'm stoked, so I've got my sweatpants on.
Dude, it's been fall for 24 hours.
Yep.
You look like a sad grocery store mom in those sweatpants.
That's just
just
most
mean.
offensive thing I've ever
You're
had
mean.
someone tell me.
Yeah, well, keeping it real.
Cuts deep, bro.
That is harsh.
Bob's Burger motherfucker.
Hey, you Bob's Burger looking motherfucker.
That's a handsome man. Handsome cartoon man.
Hard disagree.
He ain't got no chin.
Yeah, well, happens to the best of us.
Oh God, you do just look like that. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, I
didn't realize that was that accurate.
Yes. Formula One news.
There's barely any,
There's
but
barely any.
Jeff hit me.
They're Hankook. They might end up being the tire supplier. They might not. In 2020? 2021?
Yeah. So,
How is this getting determined?
F1 says we will take the money or we will take Pirelli's money.
Oh, okay.
That's basically it.
It's just
No
those two
tire war.
companies bidding to be the sole supplier. There won't be a tire war, unfortunately, because tire wars are fun
Yeah.
and easy to win.
I do know Hankook currently supplies a handful of racing series that do not use tire warmers. So they've got experience.
I think they're in Super GT.
Probably.
Who doesn't use tire warmers?
Probably.
They make some pretty good street tires. That's what I know about.
I feel like tires are kind of a mixed bag depending on who you talk to. Everybody's got good experiences and bad experiences. Like, I know some people that swear off Hankook tires because they got like one tire that ended up having like a steel band in it break or something, and now they just think that the tires are just garbage. Like, well, you probably hit something.
I only buy
Or you ran it
Toyo
with
tires.
too low pressure. No, you don't.
I'm a fancy lad, and I love to drift, and Toyo's the brand for me.
What?
How did you make any of those associations?
I feel like
Does it
that's
just
the
sound
tire
like
that
a drift brand?
I feel like that's the tire that shows up in Tokyo Drift.
I don't think any tires show up in Tokyo Drift as far as brands.
I mean, Toyo's basically Toy-Kyo. If you really fuck up saying the word Tokyo like that, it almost sounds like
I'm
Toyo.
offended.
I guess you could just put a K in the middle. Is really the easiest way to get from Toyo to Tokyo.
I think Hankook is the Formula Drift sponsor, so if anyone is a drift tire, I guess it would be them.
Well, I've been wasting
Formula
all my
One.
money.
Going drifting.
I sure hope not, because drifting is just awful.
I mean, it looks cool.
It's a
looks-
good movie
I
premise.
can watch a highlight reel of some cars,
Yeah.
dude, but
I like watching the Formula One car occasionally drift in slow-mo, and I'm
yeah.
yeah.
You know, the best highlight package of drifting, it's a film called Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
I thought that was a documentary.
I saw the actor from that show.
Han?
No,
Not Han.
the American guy.
The American guy, yeah.
Does
Who,
anyone
like,
even remember his
he's supposed to
character's
be in
name?
high school, but he looks like he's fucking 40.
And then,
Welcome
10
to-
years
but,
later...
I mean, that's like every
I know,
movie
but like
about
this
high
dude
school.
looks exactly the fucking same as he did when that movie came out. I saw him in NCIS on a television yesterday, and I was like, "Is that the fucking dude from?"
I mean, he's in Fast
Now
and
he's a
Furious
cop?
7 as the same age as he was in Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, 'cause
Wait,
he meets
but I thought
Vin
he just had a
Diesel.
cameo as him in that time period.
Yes.
No,
But he's
he has a
supposed to be
cameo
the-
in that movie, talking to Vin Diesel.
right.
And he looks exactly the same.
Well, that's
But
what
yeah,
you want.
he's supposed to be the same age, but it's like he is 40 now, and he's looked 40 for the last 20
that movie
years.
came out when I was in high school, I think.
Tokyo Drift, yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's the best.
Yeah, it was only like 15 years ago.
Fuck.
Yep.
Old as fuck, bro.
No confirmation on Kvyat, I want to point out also.
I would like to have that.
I would like to have confirmation on all the rest of the driver's seats. They're still available.
The other news to come out of Formula One is Formula One posted an image on Instagram saying, "Who do you want to see most in Formula One?" And with a bunch of drivers, and Pastor Maldonado just posted in on that. It just said me.
And same, I agree with them.
Hard pass on Pastor Maldonado coming back.
Actually, the
Over
driver,
Kvyat?
Are they like the same person?
except one of them,
Except one of them's won a race.
yeah, Kvyat's a fucking failure. Pastor
Kvyat's got
Maldonado's a
some podiums,
champion.
though.
Won a race. Has hit the wall of champions. Has torpedoed Sebastian Vettel.
See, that's a win for me. I'm going to take...
You know what?
Daniel
Sebastian
Kvyat.
Vettel's going to torpedo himself. You just sit tight.
Okay. I mean, I feel like he already torpedoed his chances of winning the World Drivers' Championship.
Well,
but
either he or Ferrari, but yeah.
yeah, okay, fair.
Maybe a little both.
Yeah,
Column
yeah.
A,
go a
little column B.
a little bit of both. We'll go with that. Speaking of Formula One, where are we at next week?
Russia. Sochi, specifically.
Okay.
The Olympic ghost town.
The Olympics are lame.com.
Fuckoff.com.
We don't own that one.
We don't own that one. Yeah, we're at Sochi next week. And I find this race to usually be fairly boring.
I don't have a lot of memories there other than Mercedes struggled with heat management a couple of years ago.
I've also found that every time I thought a race is supposed to be boring this year, it's been good. And every time it's supposed to be good, it's boring.
Except for Azerbaijan. That one delivered.
Yeah. So, yeah, fingers crossed on that. What time can you watch the events of
Qualifying's at what, 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
fucking early?
And the race is at
6 a.m.? 6:10 or just 6?
6:10.
All right.
6:10
it's always
a.m.
10.
Central Time. All these times are Central Time.
Mm-hmm. Which is like noon British time for any of you guys out there in England.
I don't
That
have
is right.
any confidence in that.
That is
It's-
right.
it's
It's
okay.
6 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff's just usually, I'm going to say, historically very bad at converting times.
No, the only reason I know this is my in-laws were in the UK.
Oh, really?
Like last week.
Neat.
So,
What were they doing?
going on a cruise.
Wait, what?
That's not.
Transatlantic cruise.
Oh, like the Titanic?
Oh, they
Yeah.
took a boat from America to England?
Vice versa.
They took a boat from England to America.
Yes.
They flew to England.
Yes. Well, they flew to Amsterdam.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They went to Amsterdam and then they did some other stuff. So
Oh,
then they ended
yeah.
up in England.
They did.
Yeah,
did
Yeah,
some
they did.
other
They went to
stuff.
Stonehenge, which was neat.
Oh, that is neat.
So, yeah, none of this stuff has anything to do with this podcast, though.
We like to travel.
I mean, traveling's cool, but this isn't a traveling podcast. We'll
What
make
if
one
it
of
were?
those.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that after.
We've been wildly successful with this, so let's branch off, get a travel podcast going.
The
Tradial
we won't
podcast.
travel. Yeah, the Tradial podcast. We'll also start selling things
instead
because
of an F1 silhouette, it's like a rucksack silhouette
yeah, or like a train.
or a train
Yeah,
I'm not riding many trains.
or like a.
it's because you don't
Mazda
live
Tribute.
in a mass transit friendly area.
God, I wish I did.
You could
That's too many fucking in the way ass people. No thanks.
in the way.
It's so nice.
No, there's-
Like being able to just get on a train and like go
What,
somewhere.
and just get a cold because everybody's standing shoulder to shoulder coughing on each other.
you
and
wear a
shit?
fuck mask, bro.
No,
What is this, Tokyo?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, thank you. Hard pass.
It's awesome.
You know what? I will take no pass on. This is a perfect segue. Super GT.
Yes. Round 6, I believe.
of 7, I
of
believe.
9, I think.
Oh, I thought you said this was the penultimate race.
Nope. I think we've got 2 more.
I feel like you've been saying
Before
2
the
more
last
for like
one.
3 weeks.
Who can say?
He did say 2 more before this one. This race occurred last weekend, though.
Yes, it did, but we were busy with F1, so didn't talk
We needed
about
something to talk about this week.
Okay, yes. We have 2 more races after this one.
Please, dos mas.
No. I don't remember my Japanese well enough to say 2. Because I haven't taken Japanese since 3rd grade. But, in any case, Sportsland Sugo.
I'm pretty sure Tokyo Drift will teach you how to count from 3 to 1 in Japanese.
Or 1 to 3, I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's 3 to 1.
I think they say 3, 2, 1 in English.
No. With a heavy Japanese.
Wait. No. It was one girl was saying it in English, and the other girl was saying it in Japanese.
They say ready, set, go.
I don't fucking remember.
Fucking kidding me? Jesus.
All right, stay tuned next week when we give you guys the rundown of the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Everyone's going to watch Tokyo Drift before next week's episode so we can go through a play-by-play of
I
that.
think that shit's on Netflix even, so...
Hell yeah.
I don't think it is.
I hope so. Because
I have a physical copy of it somewhere.
I also have a physical
I also
copy of
do.
it.
Oh, speaking of Netflix, you know what's some bullshit? Fucking King of the Hill isn't streaming anywhere. Anywhere.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah. I want to watch the episode where Hank's truck dies because it's really good. And I
When
can't.
he gets like a new F1 or F-250.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His-
and he drives it through the rain.
Because he had his...
Save somebody.
Because,
Nice.
Bobby's
It has,
like walking home.
seat warmers or something like that in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His Ford Ranger dies on the train tracks and gets hit by a train.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Nothing related to motorsport at all whatsoever.
He goes
All right,
to see a movie with his wife, and in the movie, like a man's father is dying, and Hank's like crying in the theater. And
Please, you don't even know Peggy's name?
And
She has a name.
Yes, her name is Hank's wife. Anyway, Hank's wife. Thinks that Hank's crying about his dad being an old man or some shit, and
He's crying about his truck.
yeah, and Peggy won't believe that he's crying about his truck. It's a great episode. Recommend it to everyone. Speaking of sad news for Super GT next year.
What's that?
Starting next year, the cars must have their engine located in the same place as the base model car. Which
Yeah, wasn't the Prius being banned or something?
so
like
the
that?
Prius is banned
It's
for next year.
engine configuration, right?
Yeah.
Because it's got basically an LMP1 engine.
It's got an LMP1 engine that is mounted mid-engine. So
This is bullshit.
yeah, so that car will no longer be around next year.
You know what else is bullshit? Those women in Tokyo Drift totally say ready, set, and then that guy dude just says go.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did the research just now. That's journalism for you.
Yeah. So that is very disappointing news for next year. But back to Sugo. So as we mentioned last time, Jenson Button qualified on pole. Jan Mardenborough starting P2. P3 in GT500 is the Arta NSX. The Keeper Toms starting P9. And the red car starts P12. Over in GT300, Subaru BRZ on pole. The Hoppy GT86 P2. The Golf Porsche 911 starting P3, which is crazy because that car usually sucks. But at this point in the season, the good cars all have a lot of ballast.
That is a proper, like, Golf liveried.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And you want to cheer for it, but it's bad.
Yeah.
So you usually don't because it's usually not even on screen. Miku qualified P8, and the championship leading Arta BMW starts P23. So their ballast really hitting them hard there. Start of the race goes pretty well. Everything kind of goes as you would expect. No real passes early on, but it's just like starts of these races are kind of chaotic because it is 2 races starting at the same time and they're just like split screened. But interesting thing to note here is that by lap 3 on this track, the GT500 cars have started lapping GT300 cars, which I think, if I remember right, it was one of the Priuses, the slow Prius.
Please.
Prii.
Yes, thank you.
There's one fast Prius and one slow Prius, and I don't know why that is. I assume the drivers of one of them suck and the others are good. Because, like, one Prius is going into this race P2 in the championship, and the other one sucks ass. Next note I have here is lap 9. Jan Mardenborough gets passed by the Arta NSX for P2, so he's down into P3. At this point, the Keeper Toms has gained a single spot up to P8, and Miku has lost 2 positions and is down in P10. 10 laps later, lap 19, Jan Mardenborough gets P2 back. He's got a really good pass on the NSX ahead of him, like as they're cutting through GT300 traffic. And that was really cool to see. Next lap, lap 20, the red car is up to P10. So gained a couple spots. They've got a ton of ballast because I believe going into this race they were like P2 in the championship. The Keeper Toms going into this race was P1, so both of them just heavy ballast. There's a GT300 Audi that comes into the pits here on lap 20, which seems really early because they're thinking it's a one-stop. It's an 81-lap race, so lap 20, pretty early to do that. It seems like it maybe had some problem. Like it came out and it's like tires smoking. Like maybe didn't get put on right. Like it's like rubbing.
The driver's name is Richard Lyons.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, Richard Lyons.
It's a good looking car.
It's a good looking car. He's a good driver. Like that car usually does pretty well. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a bummer to see him struggling a bit here with some sort of problem. He comes around and like they put that car in the garage for a little bit and then eventually get him back out. By lap 22, Jan Mardenborough has caught Jenson Button for P1. And it's like, yeah, awesome. Like Jan's had such a bad season. I want just any good result for him. And the next lap, lap 23, Jan takes the position, takes P1. Worth noting, actually, that Jenson Button's not in the car at this time.
Oh, okay.
But Jenson Button's the driver whose name you know, so that's the one I'm going to say.
Yep.
And also the name of that car is not probably super easy to remember, so I'm just going to call that car Jenson Button at all times.
Okay.
At the same time, the red car's got another spot up to P9. Keeper Toms fell one spot down to P10, and Miku's worked her way back up to P8. Lap 26, a couple more GT300 cars are into the pits. Still seems very early. The next lap, Miku pits and comes back out P20. Again, pretty early stop for them. They only took rear tires and fuel, but that saves them some time on their pit stop. They're kind of gambling on strategy to try and get some places here. Lap 28, the Keeper Toms pits, the first GT500 to do so. And at the same time, the Mach 5 GT86 comes into the garage.
That car's badass.
Yeah, speaking of good liveries. And that's disappointing to see because, again, I like to see cool-looking cars do well.
Yeah, I know.
And they can't do that when they're in the garage.
Looks over everything.
Over everything.
Yep.
They eventually make it back out of the pits, but kind of struggle for the rest of the race. Lap 34, the GT300 leading BRZ pits. Lap 35, Button pits from P2. And then lap 38, Jan finally pits and comes out just ahead of Button. But as we mentioned earlier, there's no tire warmers in this series. So Jan's teammate is coming out on cold tires.
Yep.
Button is out there on hot tires because he's had time to warm his up. And Button immediately gets past him. And then from then on, the blue car is just trying to catch back up to them. Lap 46, blue car goes off the track and maybe lost a little bit of bodywork before it did so. It was kind of weird.
Was it just by itself?
Yeah, it was just by itself. And like you can see like some bit of like black, like there's clearly something came off the car, but it might have just been like marbles like that got caught and then like flew out the back. But yeah, commentators are speculating that he just like hit some marbles and like slid off into the grass.
Yep.
picked up a lot of grass in the like grill of the car, which causes them to start worrying about overheating.
Yes.
Which is a real bummer because Yan has had so much bad luck. I just want that car to do well.
Yeah. Just at least finish on the podium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same time, Miku now is up to P7, and I think 4 out of the top 5 cars still haven't pitted. So things looking pretty good for Hatsune Miku. By lap 53, the blue car is noticeably going very slowly. Just all the like worries about overheating, like maybe trying to just like go as slow as possible for as long as they can until they need to turn it back on. Lap 57, the Arta NSX has caught up to the blue car and passed them for P2. So now Yan's blue car is back in P3, and then Jensen Button goes off the track at the exact same place that the blue car did. And again, just got... So here, after the race, they talked to him, and he was like, yeah, I just got on the marbles there and just slid off into the grass.
Okay.
So, speculate probably the blue car, exact same thing happened. So, he lost some time, but is still 12 seconds ahead of the NSX behind him. Lap 60, the P4 car has caught up to the blue car in P3. And so at this point, I'm like, is the blue car even going to get onto the podium?
Yeah.
Because that would really suck. But a few laps later, the car seems to be in better shape, or they just really want to get on the podium. And
push a little bit harder.
Yeah, turn it on, push, and start pulling away. But a couple laps later, they're tied again and racing, but they both seem like they're racing like fast. Like
yeah.
The blue car is still on it. And then lap 68... the good Prius gets hit in the rear and gets pushed into a wall.
Into the wall, yeah.
And this brings out a safety car with 12 laps remaining.
Yeah, and they buried that car in the hay bales. Also, driver fucking mad.
Yeah, he gets out of that car and he's just like visibly pissed.
Yeah,
which of course he is. Like I can't remember what position he was in, but. Like, he's P2 in the Drivers' Championship, and
now has a DNF.
Yeah. It's just like, fuck. That sucks, man.
Yep.
So, under the safety car, it is Jensen Button, the Arta NSX, and then the blue car. And over in GT300, it is the BRZ, the Gainer Nissan GTR, and then P3, Hatsune Miku.
Hell yeah.
So, really hoping, like, Miku's front tires especially are going to be in rough shape at this point. Rear's probably also not great because of that how early the pit stop was. So really hoping they can actually make it to the end of this race and keep P3. At the restart, there's 7 laps to go, and just a lot of really good racing here. No real passing in like the top 3, but like it is real tight, and you're like, oh shit, like something could happen at any moment. Commentators starting to think that maybe the Arta NSX has been given like orders not to pass Jensen Button, who's also driving for Honda. So like a team order situation, because I think that Button is doing much better in the championship.
Yes.
So they want to get him those points, and also want to say, Jensen Button has won this GT 500.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Same situation as like around like Le Mans, who were like, even if it is a Toyota 1-2, they'll probably put Alonso to win that race.
Yeah.
So like same sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then with 4 laps to go, the Keeper Tom's car goes into the wall all by himself.
Oh.
And then 2 laps to go, the Epson NSX also puts himself into a wall.
That's bizarre.
Yep.
Is there any reason given for this, or is it maybe marbles again?
Probably just marbles and like trying to go long with old tires. Yeah. So the race finishes with Jensen Button wins, Arta NSX P2, and the blue car P3.
He ends on the podium.
Yeah.
And then GT300 also ends in the same order as before. BRZ Gainer GTR, and then Hatsune Miku P3.
Miku on the podium.
Miku barely gets that P3.
Yep.
P4 and P5 are both within 0.05 of a second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is like a 3-way like drag race to the finish line.
That's cool.
Here,
Nice.
and Miku just barely edges it out. So that was good to see. Bummer about this. No weird extra prizes today.
That's happened a couple times now, and I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, I like my weird shit. Bring
Yeah.
out some golf clubs.
Yep.
Where's a weird
Bring out a piece
monster
of wood.
thing? Yeah.
That's bad.
So, championship standings now. The keeper Toms has fallen from P1 to P3 because he had a DNF. So GT500 is now Jensen Button, P1 with 61 points. The Arta NSX in P2 with 49 points. And the keeper Toms of Nick Cassidy in P3 with 47 points. So, still in the running, the keeper Toms. Over in GT300, the Arta BMW has 52 points. The number 31 Prius, the good Prius, has 45 points in P2. And then in P3, Hatsune Miku with 45 points also.
yeah.
So it's actually a tie for P2 right now.
Nice.
So with P1 and P2 not scoring any points this race, Hatsune Miku really made some ground there. And hopefully can become champion again this year.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Super GT's cool.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I got to see Mr. Orange Jacket. Did you see Excitable Girl in the post race?
Yes. Excitable Girl showed up and did some interviews.
Did she speak some English?
She did. Because they were interviewing Jensen Button.
Nice.
So
And Yan, presumably.
no, surprisingly.
Oh.
They only interviewed the winning teams,
Oh.
which was odd.
Messed up. Yeah,
also,
if you're not watching Super GT, you need to watch Super GT.
yeah, and plus it's just free.
Yeah,
just
it's free. It's on YouTube.
Jensen Button kind of fucked up the podium ceremony of just when they handed him the sparkling sake, he just opened it and started drinking it.
Oh, he didn't wait.
Yeah, and like that was weird. And then like everyone around him was like, "All right, let's start spraying this, I guess."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh," and he started spraying his as well. But at the start, he just like was like, "All right, let me just open this and drink."
I'm
My
sure that
friend
he was
Jensen.
thirsty, man.
Trying to get turned.
Yeah, he's trying to get turned up.
Yeah, because he was the second driver in the car, so
Yeah.
he was probably actually quite thirsty. Sparkling sake sounds like it's really good.
Or really bad.
I mean, it's sake.
Yeah,
Sake's
so
like
it's
vodka,
good.
right?
No, it's like rice wine
And it's served warm.
or cold. You can get it either way.
Yeah, Dave Lang told me about some frozen sake that's like really cold, and you open it up and it like kind of crystallizes.
That sounds good. Also,
That sounds actually kind of neat. Dave Lang told you, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were just kicking it?
Yeah, we can just see each other anywhere on the globe because we just look over the
Oh, yeah,
the
because he's a
curvature of it.
sentient redwood forest.
Yeah, and I'm a sentient redwood tree.
Yeah, okay.
so yeah, that's it for this next round of Super GT is a month away. I want to say October 21st at Autopolis.
Good track name.
Yes,
What prefecture?
Yeah, you know the rules.
Oita.
Yeah, that's what you looked up earlier.
That is
Yeah.
what I looked up earlier.
Nice.
What part of Japan is that in?
Japan,
Gotcha.
the Oita prefecture,
Mainland, presumably.
presumably.
Yeah. Japan. It's in Japan.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
It's not in Thailand.
That's true. You are not wrong.
yeah, that should be. That is the penultimate race. So that's the last one where ballast will be in play. So the leaders are really going to be suffering. So I'm looking for a really good performance out of Yan again in that race. Because Yan not doing well because he's had multiple DNFs. Because it's been a bad season.
Yeah.
But hoping he can do well in that race.
Yep. Yeah,
and then
Super
the-
GT. It's good.
And then the final race of the season, all the ballast is off. So that the final race of the season will be very good.
Will it be very good, or will somebody just walk the rest of everyone else?
I think it'll be very good.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, yeah, Russia next week for F1.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Like I said, most of the races that I think are boring have been good.
Yeah.
So, fingers crossed for another good one. Hopefully, more driver signings by next week.
Yep.
I want to know if Daniel Kvyat's coming back. Project car updates. Haven't touched the Porsche. Jeff, have you touched the Viper?
I did touch the back glass on it the other day.
Oh, okay.
I just touched it in passing, and that was it.
Okay. The Bronco leaks oil like a motherfucker. I don't know what's wrong with it. Pushrod motors are lame.
It's true. I mean, the only one that I've ever had is broken down. So.
Yep. It's kind of my thing.
I did see a rumor that Formula One might go to 4 qualifying sessions.
I also
I did
saw that
see
rumor
that.
and then forgot about it.
So
Yeah,
there
it's
you
a
go.
rumor.
Speculation.
Qualifying's very good right now.
You remember when they changed it last year and it was ass?
And nobody-
Actually, that was 2016.
Yeah.
I do remember someone being like, nobody understands the qualifying rules, and it seemed like they changed it back like relatively quickly.
They understood the rules. It was just terrible because it was just like cars were just sitting in the garage because it was like eliminating one driver like every 3 minutes.
Yep.
So it's just like, all right, we don't have enough time to do another lap. Like to get out of this, we'll just sit here. And
Yep.
it's just like that going down the chain. It's like, all right, the person before me doesn't have time to do a lap. I can just sit here and be fine.
Yep.
So you just had like a 5 to 10 minute stretch of no cars on track.
Yep.
I feel
They
like
did it for like 2 or 3 races, and it was god awful.
You kind of get like a 5-minute stretch of no cars on track during Q3 today. They
Today?
go out, do a lap, come in, sit in the garage, and then go do a second lap in Q3.
Yeah, but there's usually
Yeah, but
like
there's a car on track.
Sometimes.
yeah.
Like, I remember how bad this was before.
Yeah, like I was optimistic going into it. I was like, that sounds cool. Like everybody's just out there running laps and it's like eliminated.
Yeah.
But instead it was like everybody goes out, sets a lap, and then they sit in the garage.
Like we have, I like the format how we have it now. Like it's semi-interesting.
It sounds like this would be basically the same, except Q4 is the top 8, so as the P9 and P10 drivers don't get screwed by having their Q2 tires, maybe? I don't know.
I mean,
There was not much detail to it, which makes me feel like this isn't very likely, but I
Yeah.
thought it was maybe a little interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Speaking of rumors, I've seen rumors that Pascal Wehrlein might be going to Formula E, which would make me watch Formula E.
I mean,
The Gen 2 Formula E cars look pretty sick.
They look cool.
do they still sound really bad?
Yeah.
They sound like electric cars, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, like I like the Virgin team. I like Sam Bird,
Give them the Sam Bird.
but not enough to actually watch Formula E regularly.
Yeah, like we tried.
But-
like all of us gave it like a real.
Also, the way it's broadcasted in America, at least, is a
Yeah.
real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no just like archive to go watch. It's like, all right, we're just gonna keep showing like the same feed, but like several times. But you have to watch this archive live to tape,
Yeah.
and it's just like, no, like let me just watch it when I wake up instead of having to like come at a scheduled time to watch this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
It's 2018, damn it.
yeah.
Nobody watches stuff when it's broadcast.
Fucking Fox Sports.
For reals.
Terrible.
Word.
Word.
All right, do you guys have anything else?
That's it.
These guys know when the race is next week?
Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning. Rewind and listen
Yeah,
to us
rewind,
again.
listen again. It's going to be early. Be sure to check us out on all the social medias at Radio Podcast. Be sure to check us out at radiopodcast.com, fuckdenny's.com,
Hatsunemiku.racing.
fuckkansas.com,
Hatsunemiku.racing.
fuckthailand.com.
I do not endorse that one.
Got a bunch more.
Hatsunemiku.racing.
Hatsunemuku.racing is still one.
I feel like some of mine are like about to expire, and I should probably make sure that they do.
Yeah, probably.
Mine both just renewed.
You have the two most important ones.
I do.
So,
And again, every time I think about it, I'm shocked that only 2 of them are me.
yeah.
But
Give us ratings and reviews on iTunes. Still don't have any more of those. I checked it. I will read them on air. Join our private Facebook group, Radio Podcast Group. Devin and I will interact with you. If Jeff is deeply offended, he will interact. Just
Yep.
like with Adam Nielsen's post this week.
I wasn't deeply offended, but it just seemed like, oh no. I think some of these ought to renewed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the Olympics are cool.com apparently is the only one that will renew itself.
Oh, I forgot. I own the OlympicsAreLame.com also.
Yes.
So I own the 3 most important ones.
Okay. I don't have any that are important. I don't think I bought any of them until this year, so I'm still kind of in the clear for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we got for this week. Let's shut it down.
Пока.
What?
It's Russian for goodbye because
Oh.
Russia's next week.
Bye.
Actually, that's Russian for bye.
Bye.
Goodbye is das vidanya.
Siki blah.
What the fuck?
No.
You know what's a real pain in the ass? Fucking number 2. Like, number 2 is the
I
most
know
pain in
it
the
does
ass
hurt.
number in
Number
the
twos.